Try before we die. It's Colin here with Malcolm. Apparently with Kevin from the paintball team. Kevin, great to see you.
Hello, it's great to see you,
Right.
Colin.
You're also the sound man and our editor for the show.
That is correct.
Awesome to have you here. You've been on set before.
Yeah, a couple of times.
You're a whiskey man.
I do like a dram here and there.
He is a whiskey man. So he knows the deal. It's a push the button, get a number, whatever the bottle is, we open it, let it breathe, discuss it, taste it, and review it, whether you could buy it today or it was only available yesterday. You down? You in?
I'm in.
He's in. All right. Why don't you push the button?
Push the button.
I think it was you who told me if you hold it a little longer, it gets more random.
It does get more random. Ooh.
Yeah. All right. You can do it. I full faith.
Ooh, I'm scared.
It's like the American currency, the full faith and credit. I have full faith in you.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not like the.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have that much credit.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Ready?
Where are we going? Where are we going?
No whammy. 96.
Okay. So I know where we're going. So let me think about. It's actually right there. I know what bottle it is, everybody. I feel like sometimes we will sort of make a few changes, but I'm just going to walk over and grab it and come right back because it's so close to just being right there. So we got 75 behind us. We end on this top row at 99. So we're just going to come back 3. I'm just going to go grab a bottle off of that, which maybe one of the crew here might be able to sort of catch me grabbing it and coming back. So we're 99, 98, 97, 96. Now, as I go to grab it, Kevin, I want you to think about one of Big Red's 2 favorite distilleries.
Oh.
Okay? And this is his probably 2nd favorite distillery. Now, I know his primary distillery is Tullibardine.
Yes.
Right. In fact,
Yes.
in a camping episode, we had a nice... unique old malt cask.
Yep.
Right, expression of a Tullibardine. His other favorite distillery.
Ooh, I don't think I know his other favorite distillery.
Yeah, it's right here. 96, 97, 98, 99. I have it wrong. This is 98. 98, 97. Oh boy. It's not Big Reds.
It's not.
96, 97, 98.
So
it's bottle number 96.
So I thought what was up there was Glenfarclas in that range.
Right, but Big Red's other favorite distillery is Dalwhinnie.
Oh, I did. Oh.
Right.
Okay.
But it's not a Dalwhinnie.
It's not a Dalwhinnie.
No, because I did my math just a little bit wrong. And it is a Glenfarclas.
Oh.
So we've ended up with the Glenfarclas 12. Right? So Glenfarclas is that interesting distillery where oftentimes people will reference it as a Speyside. They advertise themselves as a Highland. As we repeatedly say on the show, all Speysides are Highlands, but not all Highlands are Speysides. Do you recall the traditional cask that Glenfarclas finishes in? What are they known for?
Are they Oloroso?
Yeah, they are a sherry cask. Yep. It is their signature finish is the sherry. Yes. Whether it's the Oloroso or the Amontillado or the Pedro Jimenez,
yep.
Right? There are a number of sherries out there. This is not letting us know which particular one they're using, but Glenfarclas, truly a family-owned company, right? We'll recall our conversation with Ethan Kelly from Acker Wines, right? And I think it was George or John Grant connected to the Glenfarclas, and that the Grant family name, the surname, crosses almost all of Scotch whiskey production and ownership. But we've pulled a Glenfarclas 12. I've not had it. Any familiarity?
Only with the 10.
The 10.
Yep.
Agreed. In fact, we just recently did a Whiskey Today's Fact marrying a Glenfarclas 10 with a Glenfarclas infused fudge. Going to open it and get it to breathing. That's the deal here. We pull it, we open it. 96, 97, 98. Yes. 75, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 75 plus 20 is 95, plus 1 is 96. Did it right. Glad to have double-checked myself.
I'm fairly sure this is a good row back here.
That top shelf there, there
this
are a
whole
number
area.
that I'm excited to land on someday. The Wolf Burns,
Yes, absolutely.
the Abelours, the Old Pultneys, the Dalmores, the Dalwhinnie. It is a nice shelf. Okay, here we go. We are opening this. There is no secrets to this. It's like a little schoolboy cap. As always, just to moisten the cork without an effort to affect flavor. I think I picked this bottle up. Is the 12 available in New Hampshire or the 10?
The 10 is.
All right,
I've
so
seen
then
the 10.
I picked this up in Nashville. Right, yeah. Right, I got this and the 17 in Nashville, and I picked up the 25 at my favorite little whiskey shop.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Oh, subdued, light. Any thoughts?
Not as lively as I was expecting.
Not as lively.
Ooh.
I really do like the gurgle.
Oh, I like the glug.
The seating, too, was sort of,
It's kind of in.
yeah, just nice, subdued. The Glenfarclas 12, they call themselves a Highland. We do know that it will be a sherry finish. George Grant, not John. I think James Grant was the major in the Major's Reserve in the
James
Glen
Grant, yes.
All right, get these seated.
Now they are recovering from a robbery still.
A break-in,
Break-in.
where family casks were taken, not the whole barrel, but there's a series they released, the family casks, which are highly sought after and well regarded. In fact, they have that whole travel case. Have you seen that?
I saw pictures of that.
Of every family cask, I think from 52 or 53, all the way through current day. 375 bottles, not 750, and that unit itself goes for about $120,000. But it has unique artwork. It has every expression released in the Family Cast series from 52 through 2000 and something, 11, 12, whatever it is. And so it's not an exorbitant price point when you factor in what you're getting.
Right, for how much?
But to write that check is an exorbitant price point.
Right. Well, so we should be down for 2 then.
Yeah. One for each of us. Yeah. Did we just become best friends? Yeah. Right. Awesome. And so the sherry finish. So we had the 10 with Ethan Kelly, and I recall us feeling that was a pretty subdued entry point for the sherry finish for the Glenfarclas. Is that ring a bell?
Yeah, it was really introduction into their range. Mm-hmm. Here's where we start.
Yeah.
And we felt that potentially each additional year bottling would be like more complex as we went through their offerings.
Let's see. We're at 43%. I feel like the 10 was a 40.
Sounds right.
Yeah, so I think there's a level up too in ABV. So 43 brings us to 86 proof. It's the classic Pagoda top distillery. And then a whole bunch of like don't drive and if you're pregnant and all these sort of notes on the back. Natural color with a fresh, tempting nose that oozes sweetness. Full-bodied and delightfully sherried. Long and flavorsome with a lingering spiciness.
Spiciness. Okay.
So those are distillery notes. That confirms our sherry idea. But again, the Glenfarclas, well known for their sherry finishes. In fact, if I recall correctly, a descendant of George Grant is still in charge, and he actually sources the sherry casks himself from a to not be disclosed location in Spain, and he has an arrangement and hand picks essentially the casks or the range of casks that will then be used by Glenfarclas. Yeah. So family run, suffered a break-in recently, but has carried on their openness to the public, and it hasn't resulted in to my knowledge, in we're shutting down and rethinking our whole operation, but rather, shame on you for being a thief.
No, that's fair though too.
Yeah.
I mean, really, shame on you. Here's something nice that we're doing for everybody, and you ruined it.
Right, but sometimes those kind of traumas shift people's perspective or their business models or the way they look at the world. And the way that I understand it, it hasn't shifted the way Glenfarclas looks at the world. In fact, I do know that there are, at their distillery, there are occasions where you can either by luck or chance or by arrangement, part of your private tasting there can include a dinner, and one of the members of the Grant family sometimes joins you.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we're going to Scotland.
We're going to Scotland, yeah.
Yeah, again.
Again. Yes, again. Yes.
Yes, again. All right. Well,
We're due.
here we go. Let's take a look. I always like to let the opposite side of the bar sort of talk to me a little bit about color first. Where are you landing, Kevin?
So that's a much darker amber than I think we've usually had. And this was no color added?
This is a no color added. I think they noted that. I'll just double check. I feel like that I did say that. Natural color.
Natural color. Not like, it's like a medium to dark amber, right? So like if you were a mosquito in Jurassic times, you would be trapped in this.
We might. Right. Absolutely. I'm just looking at it in comparison to the stain on the bar, which is I believe a Jacobean oak stain. This is sort of a rubbed leather, maybe a polished leather, not a dark shoe polish, somewhere between that light brown loafer and that dark brown loafer. We're somewhere in that in between.
Like buffed but not dyed.
I'll agree with that,
Yeah.
right? So certainly between medium and dark amber, but thinking of in other ways, sort of a leather that's been buffed, but not this dark leather, but certainly not that light brown loafer. All right. Well, shall we pull the lids and see what we experience? Again, they've asked us to pay attention to oozes sweetness, full-bodied and delightfully sherried, long and flavorsome with a lingering spiciness. Some of that will be the palate, but on the nose, let's see what we have. Oh, you got it, not me.
See?
Good job. Really sheeting, not leggy. Rich. Much richer than the 10-year-old, to my recollection.
Maybe more sweetness.
Right, I think that's when we know that rich sweetness.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Nothing overpowering nasally, nothing like, right, let me catch myself and get prepared the next nosing. No, there's a smooth piece to it at the same time. It's medium depth, medium dark, medium rich, but smooth the whole time.
You know what I get a little bit is, remember those toys when you were a kid that it came in a tube and it was plastic and it had like a little straw and you make a bubble and the bubble would like set.
Yes.
And so that it has a little bit of that smell, and I've had some scotches that are much heavier on that smell, but it's almost a little chemically.
Right.
And I don't mean chemical in a bad way.
No. Like an acetone or but it's not that. I know exactly what you mean. It sort of has.
They probably can't make those toys anymore because they probably found they cause some kind of horrible disease or cancer that's bad for you.
Right. People do live longer these days. Those were fun toys, though.
They were great.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to say something plasticky again, because people are going to hear those words and be turned off at that. But it's not.
It's not off-putting. It's familiar.
Because there's something appealing and candy-like in some of those aromas that you're not supposed to like. It's almost like, and this isn't it, but it's almost like smelling gasoline, right?
I was gonna say some people like the smell of gasoline.
Right.
Not to huff gasoline, but they
Right, just like, oh, it's enjoyable to me. Right. So this is an enjoyable nose.
Yes.
And it's very just like, boop, smooth across the line.
Yeah, it's not all over the place.
Right, it's not peaks and valleys, doesn't vacillate, it just maintains its composure. Okay, 43% ABV, 12-year-old Glenfarclas, family-owned distillery, advertised as a Highland. Many people will consider it a Speyside. Certainly a sherry finish. Shall we try it?
Cheers.
All right, that's good. Yeah. So obviously a sherry finish. That is just no dig on the 10. Better than the 10.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yep, got a little more ABV. I'll double check myself on that, but I feel pretty secure that the 10 was a 40. I think this higher ABV, a little more time in the cask, has produced a better whiskey. And it is nice. It is clearly sherry finished. There's no... So they talk about this lingering spiciness. I feel like that spiciness is a little shorter than lingering.
Lingering's not what I would use, but there's definitely a peppery.
Yeah, okay.
Almost like a black pepper.
Yeah.
Not like spicy, like, oh, this is like a...
Right. You know, if the waiter was there cracking some black pepper, he'd go, and you'd go, stop.
Absolutely.
That's how much.
Yep,
right.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's that kind of spice. It's fresh.
Right, it pops.
Yep.
It's not... Only 12 years in the cask, right? Some folks, and we probably will have an opportunity at some point, I hope, try before we die, to try the 17 or the 25 to see what it's like that many more years in the cask. We have something very fresh and yet very deep and flavorful. It's like finding its sweet spot. If I recall Ethan Kelly's position, of course, as director of spirits for Acker Wines, he reports he found the 17 to be the sweet spot between the 10 and the 25.
Not too much. Not too
yeah. You know, not because I think he reported the 25 gets a little woody. We'll have our opinion one day, I hope. We do have a bottle here. I see the progression from the 10 to the 12 clearly. I mean, a good nose, a stable nose, a very nice palate, a stable palate. I feel like that sherry sweetness is the dominant experience. I'm not finding a ton of other flavors.
No, it is definitely that sherry and just that, again, like I keep coming back to this peppery taste, peppery flavor.
That's that spiciness maybe in their world, right?
Right. Well, you know, I don't know what Scotland uses for spicing.
Right. I mean, pepper's a spice, right?
Right.
That's how that works.
Trade by the East India Trading Company all over the world, so...
those crazy Brits or UKers, depending upon the United Kingdom, right? The East India Trading Company, right?
That's good, though.
Because we'll make fun of British food for a second, because they had to search the whole world over to get some spices to make it taste like something, right? Right.
And pepper's the one they came up with.
Yeah, we got pepper. And now they got a lot of curry.
Oh.
Right, Mal? He loves the curry, that guy.
I love curry, too.
I like curry, too. I like fish and chips, too. We're going back.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have a place...
That would be our third time together in the UK.
Oh, that would be our... Wait, 1, 2... We did England, right?
Yeah.
Scotland. We did Ireland.
We did Ireland. Okay, so but we didn't do the UK side of Ireland.
Right. All right, so yeah.
Yeah, it'd be our third time together in that island. on that island. So I know the owner of this bar that we're in, so I was able to pour myself a little extra and just put it on my tab. Wow. It is a super stable, consistent drink, not asking us to find this range of flavors. You know, this is an unpeated whiskey. We have no smoke. We have no maritime. We are completely in this. We haven't said the word candied yet, but there is like this sweetness is definitely present, and it's the dominant, it's for me the dominant flavor. I'm finding that sherry sweetness, that spiciness on the end, but it's not for me lingering. It's not abrupt. It just tapers quickly.
Yeah, it stops fast. There's like a, and I don't want to say like a bitter sherryness, but there is almost a. I have the sweetness at the start,
Yeah.
but once that sweetness is gone,
Yep.
there's almost a little, and it's probably that transition into the pepper, almost a little bitterness that comes out. And I'm trying to find it, but it's right in the middle towards the end, right?
Right. Oh yeah, definitely on the backside.
Yeah. So not right when
sure.
you get it. But once that sweetness is gone, that just kind of comes back, and I feel it like kind of in the middle sides of my mouth.
I'll say this. I constantly am dancing on sourcing a family cask, which are essentially, the way I understand it, single casks that they have identified as spectacular and are released under, the Glenfarclas label, but with the family cask that the family has said this was a really good particular barrel, and they're tasting in the warehouses. And so I keep dancing with sourcing one of those just to sort of really appreciate the little guy in the business and what he or she is producing and referencing, rather than the conglomerate. Nothing against them. We drink lots of, these portfolio holding whiskeys. But again, this family-owned business is just, I have an attraction to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helping them out, and it's Bob from bottling,
Right.
who puts that label on for you.
Yes.
Here you go. Good job, Bob.
Yeah.
You
All right. Well, it just seems like we're absolutely impressed with the difference between the 10 and the 12. We loved the 10. We're really in love with the 12. As we begin to sort of wind down this this episode, let me help you out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Right.
Right on.
On the bar today, we have some pineapple and some New York cheddar. Any thoughts on what you do with this?
I would only go with the cheddar. I like pineapple, but I just don't feel it with this because there's not any of those like fruit undertones with it.
Right.
And pineapple, I think, sometimes kind of breaks down other flavors too much.
Yeah, I am going to try the pineapple just because of the sweetness of the pineapple and the sweetness of the whiskey. I completely agree with you. I'm not convinced I'm going to find a home run here, but I just want to try and find the sweet pairing and see if that works. I do believe you're onto it with the cheddar, but I do just want to try it.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah. If I don't like it, I'll just have some more.
Well, whole bottle there.
Well, less than now.
The cheese works.
Yeah.
I don't.
Too contradictory. There's too much happening with that pineapple. It almost overpowered the whiskey.
Ooh.
And so, won't make that decision again. See how I avoided the word mistake? I won't make that decision again. All right. Well, that brings us to wrapping up another episode of Try Before We Die, the whiskey review show that we don't know what we're going to drink, but we're going to tell you what we experience when we find out what we're drinking. And we're ending with a crew-sponsored toast or a cheers, and that we have no idea what it's going to say. Let her rip, Johnny. Even spelled it right. Good job. Too much of anything is bad, but too much whiskey is never enough. For me, it is, I I don't want to use the word amazing. It is just so impressive how different 2 more years in the barrel made compared to the 10.
Off the 10?
Right. And of course, releasing it at 43 versus 40, sure, that's 3%. And, you know, in some areas, that's not a lot, but that really is a lot. So I think between the increased ABV and 2 more years, it is just such a level up.
I can taste a little bit more of that alcohol burn compared to the 10.
Yep.
And it's just on the edge of your lips. You just kind of feel a little bit of a tinge, and it's like, ooh, this has got a little bit more to it.
Yeah. I'm just going to top my glass off so I can have just a little bit of cheese.
For the third time, the cheese was better.
Right, but this 12-year-old Glenfarclas, people should go ahead and have this experience.
I wouldn't sleep on that one at all.